Do you ever feel like you're always on edge? Like you can't fully relax, even when nothing is technically wrong or you don't really have to do anything? You're exhausted, you feel overwhelmed, maybe you're even a little bit snappy. I'm totally guilty of this. And maybe you keep wondering, why do I feel like this when I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do? Like I'm supposed to feel chill. Today's episode is going to explain why this happens, why it's so common in motherhood, and most importantly, what can actually help you calm your nervous system. So we're going to dive deep into the nervous system today so that you can really feel like yourself again, no matter what's going on in this busy, busy season of motherhood. Let's get into it. Feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, or like you've lost yourself in the postpartum chaos? Whether you're 4 weeks postpartum, 2 years in, or done having babies, you deserve to feel like yourself again. Hey mama, I'm Val, a functional sports dietitian, postpartum fitness coach, and a mama who understands exactly what you're going through. Welcome to the Strong and Nourished Mama podcast, where you'll find simple, science-backed strategies to heal your core, rebuild strength, and restore your energy without the overwhelm. If you're ready to go from depleted to strong, nourished, and unstoppable, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. I want to share something a client sent me last week, and it absolutely meant the world to me and perfectly captures why the work that I do, this work, it matters so much. For some context, I've been working with this mom for a year now. And when we first met, she was ready to start focusing on herself after having her 2 kids and was hoping to lose some fat mass, get back into her exercise routine, feel strong, feel fueled. And we typically met every 3 months, and we were scheduling our 2026 appointment when she said, "Thank you so much, Val, for all the motivation and the support this year. I have gained back my health. I feel good about my body again, and I am down 20 pounds. But more importantly, I have more energy and mental clarity." How awesome is that? Because as a mom, a lot of the times we feel like we're never going to get that energy back or that mental clarity back. And she said, as a working mom, your guidance helped me put less pressure on myself and stop obsessing over the scale. Watching my clothes fit again has been such a confidence boost, but what matters most is feeling strong and healthy as I move into my 40s. So I have to share that with you because it's really, really awesome to be able to get this feedback from my clients, to know how I'm helping them. And I always remind my clients, you're putting in the work. You're doing all of this. So you need to understand that because you're doing all of this work and you're putting in the time and the energy, that staying consistent with all of these other things, with everything going on in your journey, you need to be proud of yourself. You deserve that because you're absolutely amazing. And so I wanted to share that with you just because her transformation, it didn't come from pushing harder, restricting more of her food. If she can't eat this, she can't eat that. I encouraged her to eat more, and it wasn't about living in survival mode. It really came from learning how to support her body instead of fighting it. How can we listen to our body, understand what's going on with it? How is it communicating with us? And what is it wanting us to do? How can we work with our body instead of against it? So that's exactly why I'm hosting a free live workshop in January 2026 called Start Strong in 2026. The Mom's Core Strength and Energy Workshop. So it's a free workshop, and this is for moms who feel stressed, overwhelmed, or stuck in survival mode, who want to rebuild strength without burning themselves out, and who know they need support but want something that's realistic. Oftentimes, we see all of these things on social media, and we're like, oh, that looks cool. I want to do that. I want to do this. But it's not realistic for motherhood, for our current lifestyle and our journey. So when you sign up, you're going to be getting workbooks and bonuses. And I'm so excited to be sharing this with you. I'm going to be teaming up with Trail Gains, and whoever signs up for the workshop, you're going to be automatically entered into a giveaway. And whoever wins is going to get a free nutrition coaching session with me, as well as the endurance stack and electrolytes from Trail Gains. So this is a supplement company. It's local here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. A good friend of mine and her fiance actually started it. And these products are amazing with clean ingredients that actually work. And motherhood is an endurance sport. You know that. I know that, and we could definitely use the boost. So whoever signs up for the workshop is going to be entered into the giveaway. And with that giveaway, we're going to choose one person after the workshop, and they're going to win one free nutrition coaching session with me. That's 30 minutes free nutrition coaching session. We can always talk about exercise and overall wellness and lifestyle. And then you're going to be getting a endurance stack from Trail Gains, as well as a tube of their electrolyte supplement, which is so fantastic. So go to wellnessbyval.com/workshop to save your spot today. If you can't make it live, you're still going to be entered into the giveaway, and you're going to be getting the replay so that you can actually see what we talked about and be able to implement it right then and there. I'm also going to be sharing really exclusive bonuses for the new year for my signature program. It's an 8-week group coaching program, and I can't wait to share the bonuses with you. I'm so excited. It's the Strong, Nourished, and Energized Mom Method. And so be sure to sign up to also get information on that and access to those bonuses. Okay, now let's talk about why stress and why it feels so heavy in motherhood. Why does this even matter? If you've been feeling stressed, overwhelmed, anxious, frustrated, whatever the feeling is, or feeling like you're always on and go, I want you to hear this first. This isn't a personal failure. This isn't because you're not doing enough. And it definitely isn't because you're bad at handling stress. I feel like this too, especially with everything going on in our lives. It's so easy to feel overwhelmed and like, all we're doing, we're just on the go all of the time, and it's exhausting. And it's our nervous system, really. We have to get back to the basics with our nervous system. And here's the problem. No one teaches moms how to support our nervous system. No one teaches this. And I really make sure that when I'm talking about it with my clients, whether it's in one-on-one nutrition coaching or whether it's in my group coaching program, there are modules in that program that specifically talk about the nervous system, stress, burning out, and how we as moms can actually listen to our bodies and implement these different tools to be able to help us on this busy journey. Because we're not going to get rid of stress. We're not going to get rid of stress. It's always going to be here. It's always going to be a busy season, no matter where we are, or how old our kids are. And so how can we actually support our bodies? So today we're going to be breaking down why motherhood puts your nervous system into survival mode. Why are we so stressed and busy? Why chronic stress actually is a problem and what it does to our body, and simple ways to calm your nervous system so you can feel grounded again. So I don't only want to talk about all of the negative things with stress. I want to talk about how we can, things that we can actually do in our everyday lives to be able to help with that and to be able to feel grounded. After having a baby, everything becomes baby focused, and rightly so. We have a new baby in this world, and it's absolutely amazing and so exciting, and they're so cute, and you just love them so much. But what doesn't get enough attention? The mom's mental and physical healing. And I've talked about this on the show before. Most moms return to work too quickly. And sometimes that's out of our control, right? We have to go back to work. Resume full schedules right away. Carry the mental load of literally everything and are expected to bounce back, not only physically, but mentally as well. And I don't know about you, but after having your baby, there's no way in hell that I'm just going to physically and mentally bounce back, nor do I want to do that either. My body went through so much. And your body never gets the message that it feels safe again. So when you have your baby and your body is ready to recover physically and mentally and emotionally, and so much is happening, but then you have to go back to work, and then you're pushed to go back to the exercises, whether that's external pressure or internal pressure. That's a lot. So your nervous system stays stuck in this fight or flight all the time. Your nervous system is like this, freaking out, constantly scanning for threats, problems, to-do lists. It's on the go all of the time. And that's not a mindset issue. It's really biology, right? This is your body protecting you. Your brain is constantly trying to perceive threats. What's good? What's bad? What do I need to protect this me from? And that's what the body is doing. That's what the nervous system is doing. And unfortunately, the brain is now perceiving things that aren't stressful. The constant IMs at work, the being bombarded or looking at social media, or the to-do list, and the chronic exercise, or the chronic over-exercising and under-fueling. The body sees all of that as a threat. And so it's going to turn that fight or flight nervous system on. So that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. We don't want to turn that off. It's how can we get more grounded and out of that fight or flight into that parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest, which we're going to talk about. I can't wait to talk about it. I love talking about the vagus nerve and the nervous system. So when stress stays super high for a long time, cortisol is going to become dysregulated. It doesn't mean you're screwed. It doesn't mean the adrenals are fatigued and are dying. No, none of that. It's your body doing what it thinks it needs to do. Why does the body think this is a good idea? That's always a good question to ask. Why does the body think this is a good idea? Versus thinking my body is failing me. I suck. My cortisol is super high and I just can't get out of it and it's hectic and blah, blah, blah. Okay. When your cortisol becomes dysregulated, there are so many things that we can do to shift it more into a balance, because cortisol isn't all bad. So what happens when cortisol becomes dysregulated? When stress is very high all of the time, sleep quality is going to go down. And when sleep quality goes down and you don't get good sleep, you don't get into your deep sleep, your REM sleep, that's going to negatively affect hormones. It's going to negatively affect your menstrual cycle, blood sugar balance. If your blood sugar is going up and down, that is so stressful for the body. And it's not only going to impact insulin, of course, and blood glucose, but it's also going to impact every other hormone in the body, sex hormones included. When we have this chronic stress, muscle recovery is going to go down and strength gains are going to go down. Man, why am I'm going to the gym, I'm lifting some weights, I'm not able to lift heavier weights, but I'm not recovering as well as I used to. We have this fat loss resistance. I'm actually holding on, gaining fat and losing muscle. And something moms don't realize enough is digestion is also affected big time. And that's because of this connection, which I'll talk about. But chronic stress slows digestion, alters gut motility. It's going to contribute to bloating, constipation, IBS symptoms. So maybe you're going from diarrhea to constipation, a little bit of both. Maybe you have abdominal pain. You're going to have poor nutrient absorption. It's just going to feel off. And you may be craving high sugar, fatty, salty foods. And then that, of course, isn't going to help digestion if you're adding that on top of everything. So if you're stressed and your gut feels off, there's a connection there. There's a big connection there. Your body is prioritizing survival over digestion and recovery. So if your brain thinks there's a threat that it has to help you with, it's going to release cortisol, and digestion and reproduction and recovery, all of those things are going to go to the side. Like we don't have time for that right now. We're trying to keep this person alive. A tiger is attacking us. We either need to fight this tiger or we need to run away. But as you know, we're not surrounded by tigers or lions or polar bears or you name the animal, whatever's attacking us. We're not surrounded by that. Our tiger or the animal that's attacking us is that to-do list. It's the go, go, go. It's the non-stop from one thing to the next. It's the lack of sleep, which I know we can't control all the time. I get that, but there are some things that we can control. And so that's what I really want to dive into today. Here's where things usually backfire. When moms feel stressed, they are going to try to work out harder, eat less, push through the exhaustion. But your nervous system, it doesn't need more pressure. It's like screaming for help. It needs safety. It's like, please help me. Take some deep breaths, slow down. And progress only happens when your body feels supported. We want the body to feel supported. You don't calm stress by forcing discipline. You calm stress by regulating your system. And everyone is so different on what's going to work for us. And that's what we have to pay attention to. And that's something that I coach with my clients. So this might sound familiar. Let's talk about signs that your nervous system needs this support. You're tired even when you sleep. You wake up and you're still exhausted. Of course, there's so many other things that could be going on, but this is one thing that I'm thinking about. Small things feel very overwhelming. You snap more easily. You crave sugar or caffeine. Maybe you're having caffeine later in the day or you're grabbing some sugar in the afternoon. You feel disconnected from your body. Your digestion feels unpredictable. Hormones are out of whack. And so maybe we feel we have some hair loss, whether that's because we're under fueling and don't have the right nutrients. Maybe it's because of the stress, a combination of everything. Your menstrual cycle isn't normal or regulated. Maybe we have mid-cycle spotting. Maybe we have a very short period. Maybe we have very long cycles. Like it could go all over the place depending on what else is going on. What your body is asking for is regulation, right? So these aren't signs that you're a failure and that you suck and that you're doing everything wrong, which is often what we can think about, and we put all of this pressure on ourselves. But instead, we just have to understand that our body is asking for some help and for some regulation. So this doesn't require this big thing for you to do and to take more time to make you feel more overwhelmed. That's not the idea. That's not what we want. We want to start with small, consistent cues for safety. Now, before I dive into things that we can do to calm our nervous system, let's really talk about the nervous system. And when I'm talking about the nervous system, I'm talking about the autonomic nervous system. We have our sympathetic nervous system and our parasympathetic nervous system. We also have our enteric nervous system. And our enteric nervous system is also known as the second brain. All of these nerves within the gut, okay? And so with the nervous system, we also have to talk about the vagus nerve, my absolute favorite ever to talk about. I love the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve is going to be from the brain stem all along the spine, on the back of the spine and the front of the spine, all the way down to the tailbone. And on the way down, it's innervating all of these different organ systems. So it's innervating the neck, it's innervating the chest and the gut and all of these different organ systems. That's within the abdominal cavity. Your vagus nerve is firing to those. So when we think of the enteric nervous system and we think of the second brain, whatever's happening up here, because of this super highway of the vagus nerve, things are going back and forth. So when I'm about to present and I get some butterflies and I get a little bit nervous, I may feel that in my belly. When I feel anxious, I may feel like I have to run to the restroom and I may have diarrhea. When I'm in low mood, depressed, I may feel like I have slow motility constipation. And it can go back and forth no matter what. So you can still get constipated when you're anxious and vice versa, right? So that's because of this enteric nervous system and because of the vagus nerve. Now, part of that, we have the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic, we need these, by the way. Okay, we don't want to get rid of one. That's not the idea. It's how can we kind of integrate everything and learn when we need to shift out of this sympathetic and go into the parasympathetic. So your sympathetic is the fight or flight. Okay, that is, or freeze. So you have to fight something, you have to run away, or you freeze. The parasympathetic nervous system is the rest and the digest. This is the nervous system that we need to be in when we are eating. We talked about this in the mindful eating episode. We need to be here in this nervous system before we go to bed. We also need to be in this nervous system throughout the day. So the body is going to shift from one to the next all day long, and it should. And one way to really test this is looking at your heart rate variability, your HRV. So I wear a Whoop. I love my Whoop. I've had it since 2018. I've really, I think I've worn it every single day, except for my wedding day. I had to get the tan off. I have a really bad tan. Anyways, so that tests my HRV. There's other devices that test HRV as well. Another one is the Oura Ring. So if you like rings, that can be something that you can wear or check out. But heart rate variability is looking at the variability in your heart rate and really going from one nervous system to the next. You want your heart rate variability high, and it's all relative to you. So everyone's going to be in a different place. Now, you want your heart rate, resting heart rate, low. So they're inverse of each other. Okay. So like when you're sick, for example, or overstressed, there's lots going on. You're not getting enough sleep. You're over exercising. We're not recovering well. We're not fueling well. Your heart rate variability is going to go down. Your resting heart rate is probably going to go up. Blood pressure is probably going to go up. So that's one way you can look at your nervous system and overall stress and cardiovascular load too. Now, the thing is, we are living in the sympathetic nervous system. We are living in that fight or flight all day long. So the brain is telling the body there's this threat. What is the threat? Literally everything going on, all of the things on our to-do list. So the adrenals that sit on top of the kidneys are going to get the notification, and they're going to start producing and releasing cortisol, because cortisol is going to help us get the energy that we need. It actually helps get glucose into the bloodstream, help us get the energy we need to either run away or fight this thing, which we're not doing. And when we're here all the time, resting heart rate goes up, blood pressure goes up, heart rate variability goes down. And you may find that when cortisol is high and you're go, 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 you're not getting sick. But then once you sit down and can relax, maybe it's after the holiday season. At the time of recording this, Christmas is this week, and you calm down, you're done with the shopping, you're sitting, cortisol goes down, and then the immune system takes a hit, and then you get sick. That's typically what happens. So what do we need to do? We need to activate this parasympathetic nervous system more. So what I teach my clients is, how can we integrate this throughout the day? What are things that we can do to activate the vagus nerve, which is going to help activate the parasympathetic nervous system? So in the mindful eating episode, we talked about taking deep breaths, slowing down, chewing your food really, really well so that you can actually digest your food and absorb the nutrients. Digestion begins in the brain because of that enteric nervous system. So taking a deep breath before you eat a meal is going to be super supportive. What are some other things that you can do that are going to really send the cues of safety to your body, to your brain? Walking outside. And it doesn't have to be a power walk. It doesn't have to be for 8 miles. It can be a nice, easy stroll, getting more sunlight, especially in the morning, which is going to support your circadian rhythm. Eating a balanced diet, eating regular balanced meals, high protein and fiber throughout the day. Not grazing all day, because that's not good for our blood sugars. Not skipping meals, but having these balanced, structured meals maybe every 4 to 5 hours. Lowering caffeine slowly. This is huge. Maybe you start with stopping your caffeine at like 12 p.m. and then like you slowly get into this narrower window. Breathing before you respond, breathing before you eat, breathing before your next meeting, between meetings, gentle movement and mobility. So maybe between meetings, you stand, instead of trying to get one more thing done, like, okay, let me just try to get this thing done in 2 minutes. Probably not going to happen. Let me, take a deep breath, inhale my arms up, exhale my arms down. Let me step outside for 5 seconds, take a deep breath, go to the restroom, fill up my water bottle, sit down. Okay, I'm ready for the next meeting. Is that going to happen every single day? No, probably not. But how can we start to integrate these things into our day versus just a little section at night before bed? That's a great place to start, and then eventually weaving it into your day. Creating a simple wind down routine before you go to sleep. Maybe it's mobility, listening to meditation, reading, a nighttime tea. These tiny actions are going to tell your body we're safe, we're good, we can relax, we can get into that parasympathetic nervous system. Everything is okay. Healing and safety is what allows healing, energy, and strength to return. So when moms tell me I'm doing HIIT because I want to lose body fat, I want to get back to where I feel good and fit in my clothes, so I'm doing high intensity interval training most days of the week, but they're not recovering well. They're actually losing lean muscle and skeletal muscle mass. They're gaining fat. They're under fueling. What do we need to do? We probably need to take a break from the HIIT for a while and add in some other types of functional exercises like lifting heavy weights. Yeah, that's going to get your heart rate up and that's good. It's totally different than HIIT, especially true HIIT where you are going pretty much 100%, 10 out of 10. If you're doing that every single day of the week, that's not going to be good for the body. That could probably be beneficial if you're doing it once to twice a week, non-consecutive days, but not every single day, because it's going to really negatively impact your nervous system, your stress, your healing, your recovery. Okay. It's not going to make things better. So what do I want you to focus on this week and every single week? Here's your simple reset. Choose one nervous system supporting habit. Where is one place in your day that you can add in 1 minute to 5 minutes that it's going to support your nervous system? Is it in the morning? You wake up, maybe you read your Bible, maybe you read a book, maybe you journal, maybe you do some light stretching, maybe it's in the evening and you focus on a wind down routine and you foam roll and do some mobility and listen to a guided meditation and relax. Maybe it's in the middle of your day before you eat lunch. You take 5 deep breaths and practice some mindful eating. Choose one nervous system supporting habit that you can start to integrate. Maybe you start with the easiest one before adding in the hardest one. Number 2, set one boundary that protects your energy. Set one boundary that protects your energy. It's okay to say no or tell someone, hey, I can't, thank you. A lot of the times we, myself included, feel like we have to do and say yes to everything. And then all of a sudden it's a week full of all of these things, and they're all good things, but it's too much at once. And then that can burn us out too. Number 3, one nourishing choice that feels supported. What's one way you can nourish your body mentally and or physically? Is it making sure that you're eating consistent meals? Is it making sure you're getting enough protein and fiber? Is it making sure you're getting in your fluid first thing in the morning, earlier in the day, and sipping throughout the day? Small actions are going to compound. So they're going to add on top of one another, and it's going to get easier and easier and easier. So mama, I don't want you to stress. Stress does not mean you're failing. So don't stress because you're stressed. Okay. That's going to make things worse. It means you're human. That's natural. That's okay. We don't need extremes. We don't need to push harder. What we need is support, safety, structure that works with our body. What do you need right now in this season of life? And that's going to change, and that's okay. Being flexible with that is going to be okay. We want that. So if this episode hit home, I would love for you to sign up for the Start Strong 2026 workshop, where we're going to dive into all of this, as well as strength and core and nutrition. Go to wellnessbyval.com/workshop to save your spot. Don't forget, those who sign up are entering into a giveaway where they're going to get a free nutrition coaching session with me, as well as Trail Gains Endurance Stack and Paloma electrolytes. So we're going to choose one person after the workshop. The workshop is January 7th at 4 p.m. at Mountain Standard Time. So to get all the information and to sign up, go to wellnessbyval.com/workshop. The link is also going to be in the show notes. So you're not broken. You are just ready for a better approach. And I'm so happy that I'm able to share this information with you all. Thanks, mama. Stay strong and stay nourished. Hey mama, I hope you loved today's episode. If you got something out of it or simply enjoyed listening, would you please take 30 seconds to share it with another mom who could use the support? And if you haven't yet, I would be so grateful if you could leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you tune in. It truly means the world to me, and it helps the show reach more amazing moms like you. All right, time to go chase my toddler around. Stay strong and nourished, and I'll be back on Monday with another episode. Talk soon.